Okay, everyone. All right. All right. Now we're going to put these pockets in. So the first, I use a 3/4 inch piece of steel. That gives me a marker. And get to my messy, my messy little glue, which I do apologize for that, but oh, it happens. It's not the first time it's been messy and won't be the last, I guess. But I got her all cleaned up and back to square one. I've been making this type of wallet for quite a while now and had a lot of good feedback on it with customers or people that I've made the wallets for. All right, got that lined up, and they all seem to like it. I try to put in eight pockets and then that double window pocket. That gives them a little bit to work with, and hopefully they can spread out their cards or whatnot. Won't be so thick and bulky. Of course, I use the exotics, and sometimes they are a little bit thick, so you have to sand them down or allow for that, which we can do that as well. Now, when I said before, I use this glue. It's just kids glue, water base, which means you can wash it off a little bit with water and it'll come right off. No damage to the leather or anything, which is always a blessing. If you don't want to tear up the leather, then this is a fairly simple way to do it without any major problems. Let's see what we got here. All right, once again, line everything up. There's my 2 threads. Do the reverse. I really like this walking foot machine. When get down close to pockets that need to be overlapped or whatever, this machine does really good on just stepping up above them or over them, I guess you could say, and does really good. All right. And like I said, this machine's probably 20 years, 25 years old. Still does a really good job. And then my other one over here, the Ferdinand, it's also a Consew 206. It's probably 35 to 40 years old, and it actually runs better than this one. This one was made in China, I believe, and the Ferdinand Juki, or the Ferdinand Consew, was made in Japan. Don't really know if that makes a difference, but I've been told that it does, depending on the repairman or the person that uses the machines. Some love the Chinese brand and some love the Japanese. I just like the machines itself. The quality in them is pretty amazing. If I didn't have these two machines, I think I would either find an old Ferdco, which is basically the Ferdinand, or I would find a Juki and use it. A friend of mine just purchased a Mitsubishi industrial machine, and it's not a walking foot machine, but it really does sew well. Sews through the thick and thin without a problem. Uses top thread, it uses 138, same as this one. Does really nice though. It's a good machine. I was with his stepdad when I helped him get it. Went over and sewed on it a little bit, and he was out of town. My friend was out of town at the time, so the time for purchase was then, and he asked me to go with his dad and stepdad to pick it up, so I did. Got it off Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. Good place to find machines and stuff like that. It's one thing I've always enjoyed, was looking for the machinery online, being that, you know, I have talking software on my computer, and it really works well, so that I can actually do some searching myself. You know, our world, independence is key. And if I can find something myself and do it myself, then it really helps. And it gives me a sense of satisfaction knowing that I did it all by myself, or mainly, most of it. All in all, not too bad though. There we go. I got this machine that I'm working with right now, this 206-4 company in Dallas, Texas, company called City Sewing. They had it on sale. Somebody had brought it in on a trade, and I was looking for this one or a Juki, one of the two. And I told him the price range I had, which is around $5 to $5.50. And he said, you know, I've got this Consew 206. I said, really? I said, how well does it run? He said, runs pretty good. So I told him I was on the way to pick it up. And my father-in-law and I, the freeway that we were to get on was called Irving Boulevard. Well, we have a city close to Dallas, and it is called Irving. Well, I get the address, tell my father-in-law. Now my father-in-law's 83 or 80, 81, 82, about to be 83. So I turned around and called him, and I said, hey, you know, he used to work out in Irving. I said, you know Irving pretty well? He said, oh yeah, I know Irving real well. Let's go get a sewing machine. He said, okay, let's go. So we got in the car, and at the time his GPS wasn't working. And so he says, well, we don't have to worry about the GPS. We'll just wing it. I said, okay. So we got in the car, or in the truck, and we drove over. It took about 30 minutes to get to where we were. And we got out there. found Irving Boulevard, went all up and down Irving Boulevard for about 30, 45 minutes. Still couldn't find the building. So I finally got the phone number and called the old boy. He said, yeah, we're on Irving Boulevard, right by. And my father-in-law heard it, and he said, right by what? He said, look, we're in Irving on Irving Boulevard. And the gentleman at City Sewing said, no, we're in Dallas off of Irving Boulevard. And I shook my head like, oh my word. So I went back on my little digital recorder that I've got the address on. And it said Irving Boulevard, Dallas, Texas. And I just went crazy. I was like, oh no. Dad just started laughing. And I stopped and I started laughing. He said, well, I guess we know Irving pretty well. Let's go see if we can find out where this place is and learn where Dallas is, or learn the area. So we got over there, and about an hour later, they're working on the machine, getting it all serviced and everything, and getting it ready to go. But it was just a dilemma. We could have got from my house to Dallas in about 30 minutes, whereas it took us 2 hours just to find the place. So it was very interesting. But we got it. We made it. Got it home. I've still got the box underneath my table over there. Just in case something goes wrong, I'd take it back and say, fix it. The repairman that was there, he said, now Carl, you got to be careful of this needle. This don't have a speed reducer on it. I said, I can work with it. The minute I started sewing, he shook his head like, oh my word. I've never seen a blind man working on a sewing machine, but this is a first for me. One point or the other, everybody in the sewing world back there in the back, they came over to watch me sewing on it a little bit. And, you know, I took 4 or 5 pieces of leather with me to make sure this was what I wanted, and it did everything I needed it to do, just like my other one. And the only reason why I bought 2 of them, I have one and then bought the other, simply was because I got this machine for 69 thread or lower, and the big machine, or the Ferdinand, for the 138. Being that I cannot change them myself, the tensions to be right, I spent a little extra money to get 2 machines that were already serviced, and one does 138 and one does 69. Alrighty. Here's the secret. That's not the right one. Let's see. Remember I said on the video before we had to turn them over? Yep, that is the reason. Make sure the curve is in the right spot. Let's see, here it is. See if we get the, here it is right there. Okay. Once I get this one glued in, I'll sew down this other pocket, sew it down the sleeve, and continue to the next video, just about. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys that have watched the videos and subscribed to my channel and all that. It really helps to know that you guys are interested and curious about what I can do and what I'm doing, and it just humbles me to know that you guys are watching and hopefully enjoying a little bit about what I'm doing. And going on the subscribe list is always the way to let me know that everything is good. Alrighty, it's glued in. Okay, let's turn this baby around. Line this up. As I said earlier, I hope everybody is having a wonderful Father's Day. May everything be good. Okay, let's see. So far, so good. Everything looks good and smooth. Make sure I pull that around and get that lined up. Don't have my little guide on here, so gotta watch what I'm doing. Put that underneath my thumb there, or pinky, so it'll go along with it. There we go. To think this machine can go up to 3,000 stitches a minute just boggles the mind. When he turned it on, that City Sewing, when I bought it, they put it under some material and just, I was like, holy cow, don't want my fingers to be in the middle of that. He said the same thing. No, we don't want that to happen. And he was real remiss about at first letting me sew until I showed him that I could do it. But, all right, let's get these cut off right quick. Looks pretty good. Doing these videos has been a new adventure for me. It's definitely been something else. And it takes up a lot of time when you have doing as many as I've been doing, but I've enjoyed it. All right, there we go. Sewed up. That first one, that'll line up, and then I'll put the ID, where'd it go? Here it is. Put the ID like so, down there a little bit, and we'll glue it all in, and that'll be the next part finished. And then next time you see us, we'll do something else. We'll glue all this in. I'm gonna go ahead and sew that other pocket, get it ready to go, and then we'll start gluing everything in. I appreciate y'all staying with me, and we'll see you in a few.